Hello, everybody. My name is Adeshola Balogun. This is the podcast I aptly called I Just Turned 40. And you're welcome to the first episode. So I realized that as I count down to the next couple of months before I turn 40, I'm taking a look back on my life, and I realized that there are some lessons that I probably need to unlearn, relearn as I face a new chapter of my life. And I've also told myself that I need to speak to other people who are literally on that same journey. And I'm absolutely excited to have my first guest. My first guest, I knew him through his brother. He was interning at a shoe shop, and they had a shoe brand together. And we've just developed. First of all, he started out as being my customer, and we've just developed a friendship from there. Welcome, Dozie Anyaegbunam to the pod. We've been trying to do this for such a long time, and I'm so happy that we're finally doing this. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. The first thing I was going to say to you was that how someone told you that your voice is like it's no good for radio.
Are you sure? We did try.
Yeah, like it's really so good for radio. And thanks for having me on this. I know, like we've tried to talk about various things. But I feel like, I'll just say something before I finish my statement.
Yeah.
I was saying to someone the other day. I said that when it's time, and I know that we've tried to talk about stuff. Other topics. But I feel like this is the right.
Yes. I mean, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we. So in fact, do you know that there's so many topics, but so I want us to start from the one that might sound the most emotional. I mean, you came to Nigeria for your dad's funeral.
Yeah.
But would you say you were close to your dad?
I think I would say I was closer to my mom than my dad.
Mom, yes.
But again, I mean, it doesn't change the fact that he's my dad, and so like how they put it, there's blood. Her blood has gone. There's blood and water all mixed all together. So, me and my father, we had a really interesting relationship. I think as I got older, I understood him more.
Yeah.
I started to appreciate him more.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say that he was as close to me as my mom,
right?
But still, I still loved him, I still respected him and all that.
Yeah, because I know your mom's lost 4 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. It really hit you. So let's talk about the concept of loss. I mean, we lost our parent. I lost my dad just a few months after you lost your mom. So yeah. I think that episode just probably brought us
much closer. Yeah.
Much closer. So as someone who, I mean, we are fathers. We are coming into our own. You made a statement the last time we met, which was off camera. You said now you realize that you're looking around that I don't have any parents anymore. What does that mean to you? First of all, what did the loss of your mom mean to you in that time space? What did that experience do to you?
I think to be honest, I think it broke me. I think that's how I felt. I think my mom's loss really, really broke me. Like it was so bad that I didn't know how much I was broken till one of my boss then at Diageo said to me that there's something I did. My mom passed on 2019, and then 2020 COVID hit, and then we went remote. And I worked on a campaign for our e-commerce business, and she goes like, man, you know that you weren't at work all of 2019.
Wow.
Like, so basically, I was showing up at the office,
but you were not there.
I wasn't. I didn't even know that I wasn't there. Someone had to tell me that, and I just never forgot that statement because it was so true. My mom's loss it rocked my world. I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it, or maybe I felt it in a way, but still, it's just a feeling, something. She wasn't ill and all that. So, I just losing her when it just felt like things I was just finding my way in life. We had dreams. I used to tell her that. I used to say that I'll take her all over the world. So you see that wrapper over there? Mm-hmm. That's my mom. That's the scarf she wore the day she passed.
So you literally take it everywhere you go.
Everywhere I go, I put it in my bag and I travel with it. And
wow.
Like when I was coming back, I said to the scout, well, I just said to her, hey, let's go bury your husband. You know, I put it in my bag. So anytime I'm traveling, I actually travel around with my scarf.
Wow.
I did something to my father. I picked up I have his hat in my bag and his cross, and I put them. And I just said to myself that anywhere I go, I take them around with me. You know, because I couldn't do the things I promised I'll do for them. I promised I'll take them around the world. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's I don't know if there's a perfect definition for loss. I think everyone deals with loss in their own way or processes it differently. But you just I think it just changes your life completely.
Yeah.
Like you struggle with your identity, what it means. Death suddenly feels real to you. You know, I think most people, we talk about death, but until you lose someone you really love, we don't really understand what it means. Like, you know, I was saying to someone, I think I now understand why some of the artists that first drew death threw him like a goal with
an axe. With an axe, yes.
Because literally, when someone you love goes, it feels like someone just used an axe to quickly cut through time and space, and then instantly that place where the blade swished through is inaccessible to you anymore. No matter how much you wish, think, dream, like that space is just it's just where you get there's a wall, and that blade has just severed that bond. You know, and that hold never closes up. You just get better at managing it, but it never closes up. It's just that space is always there. And, you know, that was how it felt with my mom, you know, losing my mom, like,
I remember calling you, I don't forget, it was a Sunday. And I just felt like, because you know the same thing you felt about, you promised them. And I told my dad, I promised I was going to buy him a car. And it just felt like I'd fallen in his hand. And I was just like, I was crying. I'm like, man, you have fallen short of, you know, what was the essence of you training him, he training you, taking to school, all the hustle. So how does one, especially for that person listening that, you know, is dealing with loss of a parent and having that same feeling? I mean, you were talking about how you were, you know, you promised your mom, promised your parents this and this, but I mean, you've not been able to do that. What would you say to that person? How are you able to get over that feeling?
Okay, so I think that getting over that feeling, I don't think you ever really get over that feeling. I just think that you probably
Deep, Abby.
Yeah, I think you probably just get better at managing that feeling that you just didn't do those things.
Yeah.
You know, and every single time you achieve something, it's a reminder of those things you couldn't do. You know, and you just need to sort of tell yourself that it's okay. You know, it's okay. Is where else can you pour that love that you wanted to
pour out to them? Yeah.
Because all we are really trying to do is just kind of pay them back for all.
Pay them back for all. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so I now think of it like, can I pay it forward? Yeah, but I don't think that there's anything. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but just from dealing with grief the past 4 years plus.
4 years, yeah.
With my father now, just dealing with grief the past 4 years plus is. I just think that you just know.
Did losing your mom first make it easier to cope with the loss of your dad?
I think so. I think so. I think that now I kind of understand the feeling.
The feeling, yeah.
You know, it doesn't still change the fact that, like, when I went to his grave, like, I broke down.
Yeah.
You know, that, you know, I tell people that now I feel like my life has two parts. There's a part when I had parents.
And there's a part where I
don't have parents. And it feels like the part where I don't have parents is not as colorful as the part where I have parents. And maybe I'll heal up and the color
will come back.
Yeah, but that's how, when I think about it, that's how I see the hue of the part where I don't have parents is not exactly very as colorful as it used to be when I had both my parents with me. you know. And for example, I can't watch a movie where someone dies and people are dealing with it.
I mean, that's
it triggers me. I can't watch it. Like, I don't watch it. I just walk away if it starts to play. There are certain songs that play, and I just remember them and the time they existed. For example, my father introduced me to Kenny Rogers, Don Williams, ABBA.
Oh, he was a country music buff.
Yeah, he was a country music buff. He introduced me to all those folks.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know if I can play those songs again or for a while.
For a while, yeah.
I was somewhere yesterday with some friends, as they're playing Kenny Rogers. I was like,
which kind? Voila, be this.
I'm like, why are you all doing this to me? You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I think we take. I look at it this way. Like, now they've sort of passed on the baton to us, and it behoves on us to do better than. I mean, there's a legacy, so we need to sort of do better, you know, for the coming generation. They've run their race, and you know, so we are now the ones running our own race, and making sure that, you know, we leave a legacy just as good, if not better, than how they live it. Anyways, let's switch to careers. You have very interesting when in coming up here, in meeting him up, I just realized that for the time that I've known Dozie is a nomad. Dozie is a career nomad. Dozie is a career nomad. Please tell us, Dozie, what do you do? What do you do? Because if I can't say who do you work for, because by the time you listen to this podcast, it's probably working for another company. So what do you do? What do you do?
So I think right now, I'm coming full circle to what I love to do. So I work in content. So content marketing, content strategy, communications, storytelling, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's like a good way to describe what my work mostly entails. I currently lead content and content and SEO for a SaaS startup in the States. So yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, so how did so I mean, it's there's something very poignant in what you said. You said now you are coming to what you love.
Yeah.
The last you've been working actively for 15. How many years?
Yeah, so give or take, I think my career kind of starts when I left Lagos Business School. I think that's when my career kind of starts, because after undergrad, I think I floated around a bit. I went to play soccer. I traveled out to play soccer. I came back.
Oh, for real? Wait, hold up. You traveled out to play, like you wanted to play professional football?
Yeah, I wanted to play professional football.
So what happened with that? You did you have an injury?
No, I had a horrible agent, and so.
For real?
I had to.
Please call out the agent, more dragon. Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. So I sold my. I used to have this Motorola Razor. So
yeah.
I sold it for $100 or something to move my ticket forward, and boarded a plane back to Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
so we could have been looking like. I mean, I could have been watching you on. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, life is interesting. When I think about my life, you know why I like this, why I wanted to talk about this when you talk. I'm like, gosh, like this is like forcing me to think about my journey.
Yeah.
Like, it's been pretty interesting, and it's something I was reading today. Let me look for it.
Yeah, and I must say, Dozie is a very avid reader and consumer of books. I mean, yeah. So
so there's something I was reading today, and the guy says that Akagan. I think he says that. Oh shit. Okay, he says that something I was reading today. I just need to find it. Sorry. Okay, I think I bookmarked it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So just bear with me.
Is it the book we were talking about earlier today?
No, actually, I thought I bookmarked this thing. But the summary of what he says is, he talks that when I feel like that kind of describes how I viewed my career, which
right.
Most people, and maybe if that helps you to answer the question you're asking me about
coming to
my own,
yeah,
and also
now enjoying what you do,
and also jumping around.
Yes. So to give a backstory, I was saying that I haven't really known Dozie to be one to stay at a job for so long? What's the longest you stayed at the job?
4 years to 3 months or something.
And it's not like he doesn't get offers. He's pretty good at what he does. So there we talked about where the place of loyalty and staying true to yourself. But let's not get that ahead of ourselves. Let's start with, you came back to Nigeria from a botched football career.
Yeah.
And what was next?
Yeah, so I just want to read this thing.
Okay, you found it great.
Yeah, so the guy says in your 20s, try everything, do interesting stuff, experiment with different careers. Your 30s, you figure out what you do best, having spent a decade trying different things. And then 40s, you make money from what you do best. You know, and then 50s, try not to do too much. And I feel like when I think about my life, like it's kind of
followed that trend.
It's gone that trend. So my career starts like when I finished Lagos Business School, which like I'm about in my 20s. I'm 26, 27 at that point in time. I tried to spend the next 10 years doing different things. I worked in a startup. I tried to help someone launch an incubator. I worked for a classified business. I worked for malls for Africa. Like I started a business. I started a shoe business with my brother. I worked for the government. I worked in Diageo. Like wow. So, I felt
followed the process. Yeah.
The past 5 years or so, I'm 5-6 years. I've just been doing content strategy, content marketing, and I feel like now I've kind of niched down into where I'm kind of going to, and that's defining how I want to approach my 40s. Right. You know, so for me, like that's basically how I think I see it. For someone
in their 40s who still hasn't figured out what they want to do, what do they do? Like for someone in their 40s who is literally still coasting, I still don't know what I'm about to do. Is it time to panic?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think usually more often than not, and this sounds trope or cliche, but really finding yourself takes time, and everybody's on different journeys. Everyone's on different journeys. Yeah. I mean, there's the environment you exist within. There are people you work with. There are the things you do. There's some people who will never find themselves, I think, just because of the decisions they take. There's also the need to take risks. There's also self-belief. You know, there's just so many. It's so nuanced, and I don't know if there's like a formula, but it's almost like you have to kind of do the move to get going. And you know, I believe strongly something Steve Jobs says about that. Doers make great thinkers. So you have to do it. Like you just have to do. Like if you don't do, then you can't. You don't know. You don't. Yeah, you won't know. You spend time just hypothesizing or doing. You analyze and overanalyze yourself to death, and you still haven't moved one step. You get. Yeah. So you just have to do. You have to take that risk. You have to accept that. Like I said to you in the lift, that I'm just bold enough to know that I am not going to. I'm being honest and true to you, and true to myself, and true to yourself, and true to me. Yeah, I'm not going to sit down and I'm not enjoying it and then sit down around because I want to make money. No, I remember one time I walked away from a job. Like I finished with the government. I worked 1 year with the government, ease of doing business as comms and PR lead for a year. Then I moved to work with a tech startup that was doing some SMS, something with ads and SMS. I walked away. I walked away after like 6 months. No, not even 6 months. I think it was like 2 months or 3 months. I was earning super well. I had a car and a driver. I walked away to no job. People thought I was crazy. Like, they thought I was mad. They're like, how do you do that? Like, how do you resign from a job where they're paying you over 700K? This is Nigeria. This is like 6 years ago.
And that was really good.
That was really good money. I had a car and a driver, a brand new car, not a brand new Nissan.
Were you married then?
I was married then. Wow. But. So maybe yes, maybe I'm not exactly okay, but
you said no.
But it's just like I'm always like very clear about a couple of things. Like if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're doing and you can deliver value, you're gonna get a job. There's a space for sitting down for a while. I'm not saying I don't think that. So I think that I missed a trick in some roles. I could have stayed longer. It was like a year. So, but again, also I don't regret it. Like I can't change it. Yeah, I can't change anything there. Yeah.
Do you see yourself taking more risks like that as you turn into a new decade?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I think like the situation will define what I'll do. You get, but I'm a bit more comfortable in my skin now. I'm getting very clear about how I want to approach life and things I want to do or build out about the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And it sort of feels like a lot of the things I'm looking at right now over the past 1 year are literally kind of tied into where I want to go to. So I'm hoping that more often than not, I'm going to spend time just circling the same thing.
Okay.
What I don't know is what form or the space or the place. Yes. You know, I don't know.
But it will still be an expression of this core thing of content marketing.
Exactly. Yes. It's a bit around that.
Let's talk about your moving to Canada. Where did that, or how did that decision come about, and how has that been for you?
I mean,
was it peer pressure?
No, I think so. My uncle was injected with something he was reacting to and he passed. My mom's brother.
Okay. Elder or younger?
Elder.
Elder, okay.
Then we lost our first kid because the doctors didn't know what they were doing. And, you know, especially the child was older than Dodo, you know, died at childbirth.
Oh.
You know, and then... So after that, like, you know, Dodo came, you know, but I just couldn't, like, I kept thinking about...
What could have been.
Yeah, what could have been, you know, and then also, you think about Nigeria sometimes, and it just kind of feels like back then, and now it's even worse.
It's worse.
Like that...
Despondency.
So where there's stuff that we're not getting right. There are things that I want to do. There are things that are not happening as fast as you want them to happen. And you know, like I was having a conversation with an older mentor of mine who I respect a lot, and he made some comments that I think make a lot of sense. He was like, you know, people complain about Nigeria, but they need to understand that Nigeria is a very young country, and I think I agree. We're a very young country. We're making. Because some of the mistakes we make are so daft, like, you know, we're just daft countries. Like, I mean, I was looking at something about the ages of cities, and some cities are like I mean, I think Toronto is like 300 something years old.
Wow.
New York is like 500 something years old. So, like, those cities are
extremely old.
And so, what you're seeing, when we go there and we see those things, we're like, but what you're just seeing is just simply over. And I started thinking of, should I go? I'm going to spend some time. I just don't have time. Just kind of going back into their history to kind of see how they've evolved and whether there's anything that you can relate to where we are right now. You know, so I do think that there's some space in the Nigerian conversation to talk about the age of the country and stuff, because whether you like it, no matter what, some people can say to you that, you can look at what others are doing and do it, but it's not copy and paste. Like, you can't just copy and paste stuff. You can't say, Americans do X, so let's do that. I think that's a daft statement, because there's culture, there's the people, there are the people. You build that muscle. You build that muscle of doing those things. So I think there's all that, but there's also the fact that sometimes you sit back and say, can I be better? And it just felt like, you know, I could do way better in another environment. You know, I mean, aside from the fact that Nigeria had done all the things they had done to me, you know, so. And
how's that been?
It's been, to be honest, it's been amazing. Like, I don't regret it one bit. I don't regret it one bit. I earn way better than I earned in Nigeria. I'm more at peace. The health outcomes are better for my kids.
Do you miss home sometimes?
Oh, I mean, I think I miss my friends. I don't know if I don't know because when people say home,
when I ask that question, I don't mean home in terms of the environment. I mean like the people, the food, the camaraderie.
Yeah, so I think what I miss most is the people.
The people,
the food. Yeah, you can get some of that. You can ship it over. You can buy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm going back now. My mother-in-law is going to buy stuff and put it
in a box and send it.
So you don't miss the food like that. You know, and also there you can explore different meals.
Yeah,
you get so I think you spend time going through a lot of cultures and their cuisines. The year is gone. You get,
but with the growing, sorry to interject, but with the growing Nigerian community, do you find yourself replicating that same feeling of home as in Lagos as you find in Toronto, or it's different?
It's different. It's never the same, because whether you like it or not, like, you know, I feel like immigrants are in between citizens, if that makes sense, in the sense that an immigrant comes with his or her culture.
Yes, and then try to ingrain himself into another.
So in the end, the two kind of join together and mix, and you create someone that is neither Nigerian nor Canadian. You're both in a way. I mean, I have a friend who says to me, "Never tell me I'm not American. Or never tell me I'm not Nigerian." But I feel like that's a superpower also. Yeah. So it's the community thing does exist. Like I live in Calgary now. There's a huge community there. Yeah. Friends I've known for 19 years. Friends I've known for a long time. We're all 5 minutes apart. Wow. We grill, we talk, we gist, we spend time together. Really good time, and those things are really helpful. Yeah. It just kind of reminds you of where you're from. And again, also it's the people that you're with, and you don't have to worry about if they can hear what you're saying, because that's a huge mental issue. I feel like it's a mental health issue. When you're with someone, you're like, okay, how do I speak in an accent that makes sure they understand me?
Yes.
And you can be tired at times. So just being around your Nigerian brothers, it just
means you can just open your mouth and speak, and nobody's saying, what do you say?
Sorry, what do you say? Sorry, I don't get that. Like, sorry, how do I pronounce your name? Like, dude, it's Dozie. It's Dozie. Yeah. Oh gosh, I mean, I love all that. I mean, it's all part of educating the
other person.
But sometimes it can be exhausting. And you just want to just stay really your crowd.
I mean, piggybacking off moving as an immigrant, you have a podcast called The Newcomers.
Yeah.
What necessitated that to happen? I mean, let's talk about your podcast.
Yeah, so I think the podcast was an experiment so I was first of all trying to, you talk to people and you just felt like people, first of all, the immigration story is always focused on either politicized, you get, or we're just focused on, did you get a job? Did you do this?
Yeah, on the hustle.
But there's so much about immigration. There's just settling in, there's dealing with emotions, there's dealing with grief as an immigrant, just finding your community, there's still finding a job.
Yeah.
There's settling, finding a house, there's navigating the culture itself. Yeah. There's the fact that you have to, maybe you're an immigrant founder and your culture is maybe a high context culture and you're in a low context culture. You're from a culture that's very collective. And you're now working in a culture that's individualistic. And just dealing with all the cultural nuances you have to understand. And so it first started as a thing. I wanted to first write an article and interview immigrants talking about their first night, their first job, their first, all those things. And then I'm like, this story or these narratives are different. Because everyone approaches it from a different perspective.
And you don't speak to only Nigerians. You speak to Asians. That's beautiful.
So I just start into a podcast and interview people, and then at some point you turn into a newsletter. Start with a podcast, and so that's how the Newcomers started. Or that's how I thought about that. Yeah. That's how I came to the story of the Newcomers.
Amazing. I mean, there's another podcast you have for. Talk to us about it. Another thing, Dozie is how do I put it now? He has a very unique taste in whiskey. I don't want to say Dozie they drink, man, because it will make it look like he's a drunkard.
I was curious to see how you're going to put that.
Dozie he's the kind of person that, I mean, for a Nigerian, Dozie doesn't just drink anything. I've told you, I mean, he's probably surprised because he doesn't know that I watch him. Like, Dozie doesn't drink anything. He savors drinks, and then you've turned that into a podcast too. Is that a podcast?
Yeah,
it's a newsletter. Yeah. So how did that also come about?
So he also used a theme there because I worked in Diageo for a while.
Yeah. So did that because I know that it's an acquired taste. Did that happen because of your job in Diageo, or you've always been a connoisseur for?
Yes, I would say I've always liked to explore.
Explore
like taste.
Yes.
But then I think with food, I'm not exactly very adventurous with food because my tummy can be very sensitive at times. But with alcohol allows me to be very adventurous. So let's try this bottle. Let's try I like to try new bottles.
New bottles, yeah.
They say to my friends, hey, I'm the one who friends come and say, hey, what wine should I buy? I'm like, yeah, I think you should buy this one. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Try this whiskey. I've tried it. It's really good. You can try it with meat or that kind of. So, but one thing I kept coming across was the fact that when you talk about whiskey or wine, it always has this rarefied air to it, which is fine and okay. But then there are more normal people who are drinking alcohol than the connoisseurs.
True.
And so, which is why I started saying, that's what it's called, normal taste buds.
Normal taste buds, yeah.
It's actually for normal people with normal taste buds who just want to say, I just want to find a bottle that I'm going to buy for my friend on his birthday, or a bottle I can drink in the evening, that sort of thing, And so, that's how I came about that. It used to be wine and whiskey, but the past couple of months I've been thinking I'm just going to focus just on wine, not whiskey. But I'm going to start talking about that once I get back home after this run around.
Where do you see the normal taste buds go? Like, do you have people calling you for wine tasting events and all of that, or it's just something you love? If it develops more than that, it's fine. If not, you're good.
I think the latter is more like it. Like I'm not forcing anything on it, and I'm just gonna enjoy
the journey
and see where it goes. If it's all in this, that's fine. If it turns into a proper media property,
Yeah,
amazing. You know, that sort of thing. If it becomes a place where folks who are looking to buy stuff go to, even better. You know, but like I'm just like enjoying it.
Yeah, amazing. I want to do a quick comment on that, and I always tell people that, you know, you can never go wrong in at least starting.
Yeah.
You know, so initially my first podcast, Coffee and Beans, is on entrepreneurship, and now I'm having a second, and I just tell people that when I first started the idea, a lot of people were like, so in growing up I used to have a bad stammer. I used to stammer a lot, so it was more a question of, oh, why are you talking? You know, we can't hear you, or you talk too fast, or you talk too much. So it's very amazing, as you know, I'm having things to do with speaking, and here's to that person listening. You are about to clock a landmark age, and you have so many things you want to do. Just go ahead and do it.
Yep.
The worst that will happen is you fail, and then you've unlocked a new way of not doing something. Then you try something else.
Yeah.
We are too busy trying to, like you said, you want to check and make sure that it's perfect, it's nice, it's launched properly. You want to have a rollout. Before you know it, time has gone. You know.
Yeah, I think you're so right, and it's really for anyone who's listening to it, right? Just kind of emphasize on what he says. I think the best statement ever made in life the past couple of years is just do it.
Just do it.
You know, just do it. Like I've experienced so many things. I've started the writers community. I've started the content marketing that I built up for like 3 years. You know, someone is now running it. You know, I've tried so many things. Like I've just tried things, and some of them, a lot of them have failed. But I think what has happened is that over time I've just built skills here and there. You know, that are all showing up today. But if you don't try those things, you don't build those muscles.
Yeah. So I mean, we're going to the last section of the pod, which is love. You have a very beautiful wife and two amazing sons. How has between the losses of your parents, the losses of your first child, how do you think that, you know, shaped your relationship with your wife and your marriage generally? Let's talk about when you lost your first child. How was that?
Oof, I just like you asked very.
you know, I told you before that we are going to do a lot of, you know.
I think with my first child. So me and my wife have always been extremely close. Like we're best friends, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
We share a lot of things in common.
Man, I envy you guys' relationship. As in, if you see them, they're probably like brother and sister. Like you guys are so cool.
Yeah. So we're like best friends, and so when we lost that first kid, it was tough. I mean, she had to stay in her parents' house for like 2 months. You know, we even did our anniversary then. From
how many years into your wedding?
I think it was 2 years.
2 years, well, okay.
Or 1 year or something. I can't remember. But you know, so losing that first kid was crazy. It's crazy. But you know, after when she finally came back to the house, you know, one of the things I did for her was, you know, say to her that, you know, we're not going to rush this thing, and you're not going to rush it and all that stuff. But somehow she got pregnant, and then she got pregnant for Dodo.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. You know, what was the thing of, you know, we're going to take a bit of time to like heal, relax, and just get your body back.
That's the plan, to be
clearly,
honest. But somehow something else happened, and next thing she was pregnant. Yeah, we were like, you know what, the child, like,
was there a bit of apprehension? Like like coming from
exactly. There was a lot of apprehension. Tried to be extra careful. We used Lagos Island Maternity this time around. When he finally came out, he had jaundice. I was super scared. like for the first 1 week, like I was freaking scared. When he finally came out, and I carried him, and he smiled at me, like that was the best day of my life, to be honest. And I think, there's something I say to someone that we men, I don't know how true this is a hypothesis I have. I think men fall in love with their children over time more than women, because women carry the child. We fall in love with the child gradually.
It's a gradual process.
So with Dodo, I fell in love with him the day he came out, just because of what happened.
Ronan,
Ronan, I fell in love with Ronan gradually. Like when he came out, I was like, okay, this is a second month to feed, this bill, this is more money to save for school fees, And I was carrying him out stuff. I wanted to protect him at that point in time, and then over time, as he's, you protect, it turns into love, and you want to do anything for him. I don't know whether it's second daddy blues or something, but like that's just how it happened for me. You get, and so
yeah. So how has fatherhood shaped you as a person and shaped you as in decision making? How's fatherhood?
I think it's I think the biggest thing is patience. I think it's patience. Kids teach you to be patient because you need to understand that they can't reason. You see things because you have more experience than them, and they're literally finding their way through life. And so it's just patience with them. And I think the second thing related to it is that the world has so many standards where people are just simply just taking out things that work for them. And expecting it to work for you.
To align with it.
And so you need to be able to allow your child be, while being smart enough to kind of balance that with nudging them on the path you want them to get to. Because like everyone is, the child is not doing this. These are the milestones. Who
said them?
Who said, sorry if I'm cursing, but like, what the hell are the milestones? Like, what milestones are those set by someone? What was the data behind that? Are you considering the different things the environment child is growing in? Those kind of things. So just that appreciating all those things, the ability to take stuff in and then filter for your context and then use that, because parenting is like it's a real-time live contact spot, constantly moving, going, the goalpost is changing. You think you've gotten this with the child starts to do another one again, and you start trying to navigate that one. So just all that. So I think for me, and all those lessons also apply in how I approach work. Just being patient with myself, being understanding that there's a lot of information coming in, and you have to choose what you take and what you don't take. So
do you find yourself being more? I mean, raising a family and boys in a Western world, do you find yourself being more deliberate as you would have if you were raising them in Africa?
No, I think my parenting style just never changed. Me and my wife are like extremely deliberate about
that. Yeah.
So it's like we're talking about them regularly. What are we seeing? What strengths are they showing? How do we support them in that? So I don't think that how I approach parenting now is different.
Different from when you were living in.
I think the only difference in now is that I spend more time with them now, because unlike in Nigeria where there was a help, there's no help. So
you're forced to
you have to
be
adjust,
more involved.
You adjust for that.
And
I'm super grateful that that's how it is there. I'm super grateful for how much I'm in their lives. Close I am to them right now.
Amazing. So what's your as we close, what's your mind? How's your mind process, your thought process like as you'll be 40 in December 2023? So as you move into the fourth decade, what's your mindset like? Are you putting climbing Mount Everest on your bucket list? Are you looking to travel more countries? What's your plan?
I think that is for me. I don't know if there's any tactical plan. It's more like a mindset shift. It's like two. It's like one. There's no time. Like there's literally no time.
Is that thought predicated on the loss of your parents, or is just as I grow older kind of?
I think maybe my parents kind of triggered that. But like there's no time. Like I said I have this thought. My wife thinks it's morbid, but I'm like, I told her after I lost my dad. I said, in the grand scheme of things, in my family, I'm the next one to go now.
You're the first son.
Yes, so I'm the
first child.
Yes, so I'm next in line to go. So I'm the next in line. If everybody.
I see what she says. That's morbid.
Yeah, the morbid is
that's scary, Sha. But
it's a reality.
True.
I can't do anything about it. I can't change time. Like if time goes according to plan, I should be next one to go. Then, So, and what that means for me is that there's no time to dally around. I don't have time to live my life based on what someone says or what someone thinks or what you think. What you think is okay by you. What I think is all I care about right now. And so I want to do this stuff I love. So I want to spend time doing the stuff I love, and that's all I'm focused on right now.
Yeah.
All the other ones, I think they're tactical. How many countries you travel to? I feel like if you do stuff you love, all those things just kind of
fall into
place.
Yeah. Fall into place.
So that's where my head is at right now.
Yeah.
As I get head to my 40s.
Thank you, Dozie, for your time. Let me just say it now. I appreciate your friendship. Dozie is the kind of person. Dozie is not a. Dozie doesn't follow the rules of. Like the normal rules of like Dozie and I might not speak for a whole year, but the moment we speak, it just feels like we spoke yesterday. And I want to say thank you for your friendship. Thank you for. I mean, when you were in Nigeria, there were times when maybe business is dull, and I'll say, Dozie, man, come buy shit. Okay, just send me. I want to do like 15, and that just balances the book. So I want to say thank you. I
appreciate your friendship too.
Thank you. I look forward to having you on more episodes of any of my podcasts. I look forward to being on Newcomer podcast soon. Wink, wink. All right, now till the next episode of the I Just Turned 40 podcast. Send me a mail. I'll be happy to take your questions. If you have any questions for Dozie, send me a mail at adeshola.balogun@gmail.com. That's adesola.balogun@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.